Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So grateful for all of you that are here. So today we're going to be making this beautiful bag. If you're interested, please stay tuned and watch to the end, okay? So to begin, we're going to be starting with 4 beads. I'm going to be using this disco ball beads, and I use the 0.7 mm fishing line for this work. I'm going to start by stringing 4 beads. Okay, for this method, I'm going to be using a knotting method throughout for this bag because the beads are big and I want the bag to be firm. So I'm going to start by stringing 3 beads. Then I'm going to fold one end of the fishing line, that's the fishing line in my left hand, and I'm going to pass the fishing line and my right hand into the loop. If you don't understand this method that I'm using, I have a video where a separate video where I taught how to make your bags firm. I'm going to link it in the description box below, and you understand this method I'm doing is a method that I use when I want my bags to be really firm. Okay, I'm going to be using this method throughout this video for this bag. So for this one, for the next one, I'm going to string 2 beads. Then for the third one, it's just like you're stringing 1 bead on the left, 1 bead on the right, and using one to cross. So this one, I'm also stringing 1 bead on the left, 1 bead on the right. Then for the third one, I'm just going to fold the fishing line on the left, then pass the fishing line on the right into that loop I'm making, then I'll pull it tight. So I'm going to be using this method throughout, okay? I'm going to do the third one now, the same process. I'll string 1 bead on the left, 1 bead on the right, fold the fishing line on the right, then pass the one on the left to it. As you can see, I'm just folding the fishing line on the left, and I'm going to pass the one on the right into it. Now I'm going to do the fourth one now. I'm doing a ring of 4 for my bag. So the fourth one, I'm going to pass all 3 beads into the fishing line on my left, like we always do. When you want to turn, you always pass all 3 beads into one fishing line, which is the one on the left. So I'm going to fold it, pass the fold through the hole, make a loop, then pass the other side of the fishing line into the loop, then drag it. So now I've turned my fishing line now, so I'm going to start making my second row now. To start making my second row, I'm going to pick 3 beads and string all 3 beads into the fishing line on my left. Yeah, so to continue now, I'm going to pass my fishing line into the next bead, the fishing line on my right into the next bead, and I'm going to pick up 2 beads. Yeah, I'm going to string 2 beads into the fishing line. Pass it and pull. I'm going to pass my fishing line into the next bead. Then do the same thing, string 2 beads on the one on my left. So for this bag here, I'm not going to be doing like a mat. I want to be making all 4 sides as I'm going along. I don't want to do a mat, then fold, then have to do the sides. Okay, I'm going to be making all 4 sides as I go. So I'm going to show you as I go along. The video is going to be self-explanatory, and I'm going to try to explain as much as possible. So just watch as I'm doing. For this is my second row. I'm going to pass the fishing line again, but this time, because I want to turn so I can make my third row, I'm going to string the beads on the one on my right. We've been stringing the beads on the fishing line on the left, but this time we're going to do it on the right so we can turn so we can make our third row. I'm just going to flip my beads over because I prefer to work from left to right. Okay, so now I'm going to start my third row now, repeating the same process that I did for the second row. So for this type of beading, you have to determine your base, the number of beads you want to use for your base. For this bag, I'm using a 4 by 3 for my base. The front and the back are going to be 4, while the sides are going to be 3. Okay, you have to determine the number of beads, the number of rows and columns, or should I say rows and columns here, you want to use for your base. I'm going to do the same thing, putting it on my right so that I can turn. Now this is my base for my bag, right? I told you have to determine the number of beads, the number of rows you want to use for your base. Now I have a 4 by 3. Now for me to start making my side, right, I have to make the 4th row. Okay, that will enable me to start making my sides. So I'm going to start now to make my 4th row, right? So I'm showing you that I have 4 by 3, right? So now I'm going to make my 4th row. I'm going to repeat the same process I did for the second and third row by stringing 3 beads for the first one, then stringing 2 beads for the rest. And let me also mention that if you are doing this method of this knotting method here, as you go along, you have to notice, you have to always interchange your fishing line, because the one you are folding will tend to become shorter than the one, that's the fishing line on your left, which is the one that is being folded, will tend to get shorter than the fishing line on the right. So you have to interchange it as you go along. So now for this 4th one now, you know, since if we get to this point, we'll pass the fishing line with the right and string the bead with that same right fishing line. But this time we are going to be stringing with the left as we have been doing, because we want to start going around the 4 sides to make our bag. So I'm going to be passing my fishing line with the right, but I'm going to be stringing my beads into the left, because this time I am not trying to turn, I am trying to go to the side. You see what I'm trying to do as I go along. Now my fishing line is on the side. Now I'm going to pass my fishing line into the next bead. Just do as you are seeing in the video and you will not be confused. I'm going to pass, as I've passed it now, I'm going to string 2 beads, fold it, pass the one on my right into the loop. So now I'm going to fold that 4th one, that 4th row up. That will serve as my side, the side of my bag. Okay, so I'm going to go round now. I'm going to pass it into the next bead, string 2 beads, I'll pass it into the next bead, I'll string 2 beads. I'm just going to do that round. Beading work is a repetitive work. Once you start one process, you keep repeating that same process until you get your desired design. Okay, so it's just going to be a repetitive process. I'm going to pass it to the next bead, string 2 beads, I'll pass it to the next bead, string 2 beads. I'll just let you watch and see what I'm doing. So for this part, I'm trying to interchange the fishing line, because the one on my left is starting to get really short. That's why I'm doing the crossing method here. that our sides are coming along. So I'm passing it into the next bead again, and I'm going to string 2 beads. It's practically the same thing I'm doing over and over, so just watch, okay? You understand everything as you watch. The end now. So for this part, I'm going to pass it into 2 beads, the last bead and the other bead by the side of it. Then on this time, we're going to string just 1 bead into it to complete our first row for the sides, the first row for the sides of the bag. And for this bag, we're going to be making 4 rows for the sides. So this is the first one complete. We have 3 more to go. As you can see now, the sides are there. So for us to start our second row now, from that very spot where we are, we're going to pick 3 beads, string it into the fishing line on our left, and interlock it with the other one on the right. So I'm just going to continue doing this until I get to the 4th row, where we can start making our handles. Then I'll show you what next to do. It's practically the same process I did for the first row that you just do until your desired length. If you want to have 5 rows, 6 rows, you can do that. So this is I've done 3 rows now for this bag, as you can see. So the 4th row, we're going to be inserting our rings for our handle. So I'm going to be inserting the rings on the sides where I have 3 beads. I'm just going to bead my bag until I get to the point where I want to insert my ring. to be inserting my ring on the middle part of this side. I have 3 beads on that side, so I'm going to be starting it in the middle part. So to do that, once I pass my fishing line into that bead, I'm going to fix 1 bead, then I'll fix my ring, then I'll fix the next bead. So I'm just going to pass my fishing line into the second bead. For this part, I'm going to be doing the interlocking method, not the knotting method, because I want my ring to be in that middle. So I'm going to bead my work to the other point so that I can fix my second ring. So basically, I just fixed 1 bead, fixed my ring, then fixed the second bead, then interlocked it. That was just basically what I did. I just crossed it. It's nothing difficult. Just ignore this sheer thing you're seeing. I'm using it to cover. I don't know. I think that place was messy. I don't use that to cover it. But you can also please help me share, like, and subscribe. Okay. Thank you so much. I love you all. Okay, so we are at the last point now. I'm also going to be fixing my ring at this point as well. So I'm going to pass my fishing line into the next bead and the one beside it, into 2 beads. Okay. Now I'm going to fix my ring, fix my bead, then fix the ring. And I'll just cross in with the bead. And voila, our bag is halfway done. So now I'm just going to secure my fishing line by passing it through the beads. I'm just going to pass it all the way, any position I want, anywhere I want to take it. I'm just going to pass it until I'm done. And for this kind of beads, I like to pass a lengthy, should I say a long fishing line, because the beads are round and they might unravel. I won't say they will unravel, but they are not as firm as sugar beads. So I try to make sure that any fishing line I'm passing, I want it to be a little bit longer, to be long. Let it just be long, so that I will know that it's firm in my heart. Tie a knot if you want. You can just try and find a way to pass the fishing line to a point where they will meet, tie a knot, then continue passing the fishing line around the back. That will also secure it as well. And always pull as you pass. As you're passing, pull. As you pass, pull. So I'm done now. So we're going to fix our handle now. This bag is very, very easy to make and very simple. You can make so many of it in a day, and it's very cute as well. So I'm going to get a new fishing line. So the handle can be done as you like, okay? You mustn't do the one I'm doing. If you like it, fine, you can do it. But you can do any kind of handle you want. You can decide to use only the black beads for the handle. Can decide to use something else. So for this one, I'm going to be using this gold metallic beads. I'm going to fix 3 of it, and I have some cracked beads as well. I'm going to fix 3 of it before I fix my black beads. I'm going to fix 3 of these cracked beads. So you see what I did? I just passed the fishing line through the ring. Okay, so I'm using both ends of the fishing line to pass my handle. Now I'm putting the black beads. You can also make the hand as long or as short as you want. This tutorial is not the Bible, okay? So be flexible. Do it how you want it. So I'm going to put the cracked beads again, then put my metallic gold beads, and I'll just tie a knot at the other end of the ring, and we are done with our bag. So as you can see, I have three each of the gold bead and the cracked bead, and I have 4 of the black beads. So I'm just going to pass one end of the fishing line into the ring, and then I'll make a knot. I think I'll tie the knot like 3 times and just cut it off, and that's all. Please pull this very tight. As you can see, I'm pulling it very tight. After that, I'm just going to get my scissors. You can also use your cutter and just cut very close to the knot. And that's it, our bag, it's done. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to share and to subscribe. Also leave any questions you have in the comment section, and I'll try as much as possible to answer them. Okay, if you are confused, you can let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.